The controversy continues regarding plans to build a new Walmart in the area. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger. Thanks for joining us tonight. Well, that's right. Plans to build a 24-hour super Walmart in Oxon Hill continue to move forward despite protests from a group of residents who live in that area. While still early in the planning phases, a zoning hearing on the proposal was held today in Upper Marlboro. Developers are seeking a special exception to build a retail store over the zoned 85,000 square feet. The proposed site on Oxon Hill Road is situated between the Clarion Hotel and the John Hanson Montessori School and behind Oxon Hill High School. The location has some parents and residents concerned about traffic congestion and children's safety. But supporters argue Walmart will create new jobs and shopping options.
It will add up the value of the housing and the safety of the neighborhood, and also employment and with the outlet mall, the Walmart, and the National Harbor right there close to each other.
My understanding is that Walmart is a crime magnet. 80% of its crime exists in the parking lot. We already have criminal activity that constantly plague our school environment.
I don't think Walmart is a good corporate citizen. I don't think that they do the things that that help communities thrive. I think that they take from communities.
Well, if you have an opinion on the project, then you'll want to attend the public hearing tonight at 6 p.m. at the County Administration Building in Upper Marlboro.
Well, turning to politics, with 3 weeks left in the legislative session, the push is on to pass a statewide minimum wage and to restore key provisions that were stripped from the House-passed version. Now, Congresswoman Donna Edwards, state legislators, and minimum wage workers held a news conference today in Annapolis to call on Maryland Senate to fix and pass the bill. Two items that were eliminated in the House version would be tied to the minimum wage and inflation, and would also include tip workers.
Are subsidizing their profit margin. We're subsidizing their profit margin because we also are paying for low-income heating assistance. We're paying for food stamps and housing assistance.
It's a travesty that in this state where so many people have so much, they're not willing to make sure that everybody has enough, that people don't have a chance to actually live the way their parents wanted them to live, the way their families want them to live, just because they have a job that someone deems is not important enough.
Lawmakers have until April 7th to pass a bill and get it to the governor's desk.
Well, speaking of the governor, Harford County Executive David Craig wants to be Maryland's 62nd governor. The Republican candidate and 10th generation Marylander says his vision of the future would make the state a better place to live for generations to come. Craig sat down with CTV News today to talk about his plan. He says the key issues are taxes, education, public safety, and tolls. Of those, Craig highlighted his plan to phase out the state's income tax in 3 years.
By first lowering and then eliminating the income tax, that will make us much more competitive around the nation. There are 9 states that have no income tax, and I continually hear wherever I am that someone says, I'm getting ready to retire and I'm moving to, and they name one of those states. And in the last several years, over 64% of the new jobs created in the country were created in those 9 states. Some are red, like Texas, some are blue, like Washington. So it's very possible to do that.
Craig says his income tax plan would be phased in over 3 years. He says he would pay for the tax cuts by having individual state departments cut their budgets by 3%.
Here's a story that is sure to touch your heart. Prince George's Animal Management is looking for homes for dozens of rabbits. The animals were displaced after a fire in New Carrollton over the weekend. Darcy Spencer has the story.
This house on Adrian Street in New Carrollton went up in flames over the weekend. The homeowner was left with no place to go. Also left homeless, dozens of rabbits. They're now being taken care of at the Prince George's County Animal Shelter in Upper Marlboro.
The owner was in a desperate situation dealing with the house fire, and so he did turn all the rabbits over to the county, and now we're in charge with trying to find homes for these rabbits.
And there are a lot of them, 41 to be exact. Some rescue groups are helping, but the county will need to find homes for most of them.
It's a community issue. When these things happen, we expected the community to come and help us out.
The rabbits have literally taken over the shelter. They're being housed in the cat condos at the building entrance. The males and females had to be separated, and some that were fighting had to get their own cages, not to mention the mess.
Very challenging. I mean, our staff time, as you see, we're cleaning. It's all day cleaning. You're using 2 or 3 staff members a day to make this happen.
As an incentive for people to adopt them, the county has reduced the fee from $130 to $30.
Officials here at the animal shelter say they don't think they'll have any problem getting these rabbits adopted. After all, Easter is right around the corner.
But staff here caution they need a lot of care.
These are not Easter bunnies. These are going to be pets to be with you for life.
Darcy Spencer, CTV News.
A lot of cuties there. Meantime, investigators are still searching for the cause of another fire, this one on 63rd Street in Seat Pleasant. The flames broke out just before 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The occupants of the home escaped by jumping from a second-floor window. A woman suffered a burn to her face and smoke inhalation. Her 1-year-old son was also taken to the hospital for possible smoke inhalation. Well, you are watching CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.